Hi, this is Marilyn, and this is a video blog on self-care for therapists. Um, I've actually done a written blog as well that goes with this blog, so it's just a visual um, type of the same blog actually, with a lot of different bits as well. But I did a blog on self-care for therapists, artists, caregivers, and creatives. Um, and as I was typing this blog, I realised that I wanted to actually speak about it as well, because I think that the spoken message can convey a lot more than what I'm writing. I can't write some as much as the things I can say. And anyway, so what I'd actually wrote about is how we can get burnout. And I realised I was clocking up that time I've been working with people, and it's over 20 years, and I've had several periods of that time where I've actually had burnout. I've just had to stop what I'm doing. I just felt really empty. And it wasn't until I just started to see with the coach therapist that I see now that gives me a lot of supervision, gives me a lot of support as a therapist myself. Um, Seeing her made me realise how much my burnout is linked to overgiving, and what I should be doing, um, working with other people. And what I find is that I've had to really kind of streamline how I work with people, and what energy I can afford to give to others as much as giving to myself. And I realise that a lot of the times when I have been burnt out is when I've not given myself the break. So um, the important thing is for me is to make sure I have enough breaks and I have enough time to fill my cup back up before I can give to other people. Because when I'm not doing that, finances get affected. I'm tired, I just cannot give, and I just feel my life force is slipping away. Literally, that's what I feel. Um, and I remember reading a book which I've referenced in the blog called The Woman Who Glows in the Dark by Elena Avila. And she was a Mexican healer, and there's been some controversy around her anyway, but I loved her book, and I always think don't throw the baby out of the bathwater. And her book to me was really important, because in that book she said about giving percentages to your life. So 50% should be your breath. Um, um, I think 20% should be babies or children, whether they're yours or somebody else's. Um, Another 30% should be community. Um, and another 20% should be, relationships, or, around that ratio. So you should have a bulk of your energy should be on your breath, and the rest family and friends and other things externally. And then she also said there was another ratio you would have. So 50% you, 20% your partner, another 20% giving back, 5% maybe community or nutritional health. You can work out those percentages yourself. And I tend to do that with my clients. I tend to say how much percentage you can give to your work and your projects, how much percentage can you give to your family, how much percentage can you give to yourself, and another percentage can you give to your service, or maybe your spirituality, anything what you can give to yourself. What percentages are they? Another thing which I find is really helpful is if I have a big project on, now I've got an exhibition coming on, I'm not really going to see clients. So that gives me time to just do the external training that I do and my artwork, as opposed to doing everything at once. So I kind of put things in cycles. So once the exhibition's finished, I'll be doing some more painting, but then I'll be launching a new program for 3 months. So that gives me that space. And then after the 3 months, I'm planning to have a break for some weeks, so I can just recuperate and replenish myself. So that's really, really important that you do your work in cycles. And because for me, as a therapist, or as a creative, this is for creatives as well. It's not just for healers, therapists. It's for anybody that uses their body as a vessel to give to others. So it could be a product, a service, a creative endeavor. this is for you. So you're always giving, giving, giving. So it's time to kind of replenish yourself so you can actually get back. So you can allow more energy to come, because to power a body that is always giving takes a lot of time, takes really a lot of time, takes a lot of energy. And if you're doing that from an empty place, you're not going to last long. You're not going to last any longer. You want to see, you want to find out, really ask yourself, what am I going to be doing in 20 years' time? Or, 5 years' time, actually. Sorry, 20 years is a bit too far. What am I going to be doing in 5 years' time? Am I going to still be doing this work? Do I still want to be doing this work? What is the next stage? And look what your desires are, and then you can kind of plan around that. Do you want people working under you? Do you want to share your gifts so other people can be doing it? Or do you just want to be doing it yourself? And if you just want to be doing it yourself, then you really need to organize a way how you can manage your energy. And some people say to me, oh, well, I'm doing my therapy. I don't want to go out and do a normal job. I'm not saying to you do a 9 to 5 job, but what I would recommend, that you have a self-care package and you make a certain amount of money. It could be externally, it could be another a project that you're doing that supports your well-being. So that supports your massages, your beauty treatments, your eating out, you're buying clothes, you're buying books, anything that supports your well-being or your wholeness, even art supplies. And then the rest of your money, the rest of your life's work can finance your other living costs. But make sure you have a portion of income that is going to just support you, because what that will do, that will feed you, enable you to work better, work more powerfully. And that is really important. So I've listed kind of 5 steps which I think is working for me, and that is, you need your time alone. Whether you're in a relationship with somebody or not, you need your time alone to rest and recuperate. Even if you've got a house full of people, children, book a hotel for the night. If your husband don't like it or your partner don't like it, they can come with you. But or book a hotel for an afternoon, or just sit in a hotel lobby. Take time out where you're just alone from everybody, everybody's views, opinions, energy. You need time alone. You need to spend some time in your own energy, especially if you're an empath. You need to really do that. Time in nature. If you can't do that, just go out of your house and just connect with the sky. So looking at the sky, looking at anything that relates to nature. If you don't live near water, then that's what you're going to have to do. Sometimes for me, it's really hard for me to get out of the city. So I'm really connecting with the sky. So it takes me out of my own head. Diet and exercise. Make sure you're moving. You're doing anything which relates to movement. It doesn't have to be a strong discipline, but anything that's going to move your body. Laughter. You've always got to make sure you're laughing. Community, that you're around a good group of people that are going to support you. And doing something which, your work should be creative. If your work, even if it's your healing work that's not creative, find a way that you can incorporate creativity into your work. It could be crafting, it could be sewing, it could be anything like that. But find a way that you can bring creativity into your work, because even if it's, you could be a massage therapist, but even it's how you're designing your packages, even if it's something just really fun, find a way to be really creative, because it kind of takes you away. And always, I talk about the PVR Triangle as well, which is really important. Always read up about different things that help you mentally. And main thing what I've learned from working with my support is the PVR Triangle. A lot of therapists and givers, creatives, are rescuers, and they're coming from the rescuing principle. So they're actually trying to overgive. If you are a rescuer, you're going to attract a persecutor or a victim, or you're going to slip from one of those roles. So I've got to help my clients, I've got to overgive my clients, I've got to give. You have to be neutral, you have to be quite balanced as much as we can be as humans in this world. But if you're rescuing all the time, then you're overgiving. You know, you're always giving more and more, and actually not keeping, trying to pull back and keeping boundaries. The therapy stops at the door. It's not your friends, it's not your family, it's not other people. You have to go back to being a human being, because otherwise, if you're rescuing everybody all the time, then you're not stepping out of that triangle, and you're really imbalanced. So burnout is really closely linked to rescuing other people. So I would really look at that PVR triangle and look at where are you standing whenever you're experiencing burnout. Are you a victim? Are you a rescuer, or are you a persecutor? If you're none of those, then it's fine, then you're an adult. But sometimes we do slip into it, and most healers and creatives tend to be overgivers. We're giving because we're getting validation from our work, we're feeling brilliant, we're feeling really good. I'm just checking the time. We're feeling really good with what we're doing, but it's not really supporting us because we're getting burnout, and somebody is draining off of us. And the more you're a rescuer, the more you will attract people that are going to take from you, because that's just the standard way. You have to be neutral, and the only way you can be neutral is if you are on your own. You have a care plan, whatever that may be, and you are part of your therapy.